Good evening, everybody. It is Pete Harding with the AGOA, Administration of Government Oversight and Accountability. We are doing a special report here regarding an issue with Mark Poloncarz at a polling station here in Cheektowaga, New York at the Cheektowaga Senior Center. The incident occurred on Saturday morning between the hours of approximately 9 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. The Cheektowaga Senior Center is an early polling location, and we received a report into the AGOA that reported Mark Poloncarz being at this voting station and that he was on the stairs of the polling station. Also, that he was inside the polling station and that he was in the parking lot within the 100-foot zone of the polling station. Now, what I'm going to pull up over here for you is this. This is New York State Education Law 2031A. And when you zoom in on this, it's electioneering within 100 feet of a polling place, prohibited distance markers. It talks about the distance markers here, but it also talks about right here that you cannot have a sign or be electioneering or campaigning at all within a 100-foot area from a polling station. Mark Poloncarz was witnessed to do that on Saturday, October 28th, between the hours of at least 9 a.m. until 11:30 p.m. Now, what you'll see down here is any person who willfully violates the provisions of this section shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. It says, at such elections or voting held at a time from and not during the annual meeting of the district, while the polls are open, no person shall do any electioneering within the polling place or within 100 feet therefrom in any public street or within such distance in any place in a public manner, and no banner, poster, or placard on behalf of or in opposition to any candidate or issue to be voted upon shall be allowed in or upon the polling place or within 100 feet therefrom during the election. For the purposes of this section, the 100-foot distance shall be deemed to include a 100-foot radial measured from the entrances designated by the inspectors of election to a building where such election is being held. This section shall not be deemed to prohibit the Board of Trustees or Board of Education from displaying within any polling place a copy or copies of any budget or proposition to be voted upon. So, you're asking yourself probably, well, why does this matter? Why is it a big deal? Well, it's a big deal because what it is it's voter tampering. And the New York State deemed with their New York State Education Law, which covers New York State election law, that this was a misdemeanor. Now, it doesn't state specifically which misdemeanor it is. We have been trying to determine that, and we haven't been successful. It could be an A misdemeanor, which carries up to a year in prison, a B misdemeanor, which is 6 months in prison, and a C misdemeanor, which would be 30 days in jail. So we are trying to get that information or obtain that information from the Board of Elections. We did our investigations, and what our investigation showed, I'm going to pull up here this state of New York election law. What our investigation proved was that we had several witnesses that witnessed Mark Poloncarz at this polling station on Saturday, October 28th. In fact, the Board of Elections polling inspectors at this location, the Cheektowaga Senior Center, they reported and were recorded stating that he was inside the building, he was on the steps, and he shouldn't have been. He was told to leave the steps, and he did. Furthermore, they stated that the 100-foot rule sign, the 100-foot signs were not placed. However, you should know that standing on the stairs would violate that. It was asserted that by the Board of Elections polling inspectors that perhaps Mark Poloncarz didn't know. Well, this law says that it really doesn't matter if you don't know. the law, that you shouldn't be violating that 100-foot rule. So our investigation proved that the videos were corroborated. We had eyewitness testimony of him being inside the building, Board of Elections employees stating that he was inside the building, in fact, and that we had several witnesses that stated he was on the steps, Board of Elections employee that said they asked him to move, and then went on further to say that they did not contact their superiors regarding the issue, which by New York State procedure within election law, they were required to do so. They were required to report the incident immediately, and they did not. We asked them in a follow-up investigation on Sunday, October 29th, if they had in fact made that phone call to their superiors, and they had not. We asked them if they were going to, and they would not give an answer at that point. So we did a further so on Saturday, what ended up happening, we saw and witnessed and got video obtained of him, Mark Poloncarz, standing in the parking lot even after he was told not to be within 100 feet, to stand behind the 100-foot marker, and he would know, because you had all of the signs, all of the political signs that were there that were demarking what the 100-foot line was. We went back on Sunday to do a follow-up investigation, interviewed two of the Board of Elections polling inspectors at that station. They both confirmed the story of what happened, except that their story changed a little bit and said that he was in fact not inside the building. They did maintain that the 100-foot markers were not up. He was told, when he was told, he did move, and they did not say that he was in the parking lot, however, violating the 100-foot rule even after he was told to move. However, we do have video evidence of him standing within the parking lot on Saturday, after he had done that, after he had been told. So what we did moving forward, we got all the evidence, we've gathered all the evidence. We have gone to the witnesses. We have obtained signed affidavits from witnesses. We have corroborated and confirmed that the video was authentic. We corroborated and confirmed that the interviews with the Board of Election polling inspectors were valid. So what we did was we contacted the Board of Elections yesterday, and we notified them there that we had a report on Saturday that Mark Poloncarz was violating the law, that he was breaking the law and committing a crime, and that we had done an investigation. At that point, we had sent our investigators over into the field, and we had obtained video, and we had spoken to several witnesses as well as the Board of Elections polling inspectors to verify what happened. And on video, those Board of Elections polling inspectors confirm that Mark Poloncarz broke the law and committed the crime. Now, on Sunday, the statements that these Board of Elections polling inspectors made were that all they were instructed to do in their training by the Board of Elections was that if somebody was in fact violating and committing a misdemeanor in any polling station, that they were told to have that person moved beyond the 100-foot mark. And in our opinion, that's not an acceptable position to have. We are doing research at this point to find out how many times Erie County has prosecuted this crime, this election crime. And if they have investigated and charged individuals, we're going to take a look at who has been charged and what the penalties have been. In this situation here, Mark Poloncarz, we have all the verification. We asked the question with the Board of Elections employees, if you asked them to move, or if you knew he was there and you knew he was breaking law because you were aware of the rule, why did you not contact, as they had stated before? They did not give a reason for that. Now, at this point, we have spoken to the Board of Elections, and we gave our full report. We've emailed that report in detail. We have not provided testimony, the affidavits, or the videos at that point. However, we will. We'll be doing a follow-up video that does contain those videos and the statements by the Board of Elections employees confirming what happened. This report is now confirmed by Erie County Board of Elections employee Justin Rooney that it is in the hands of the Erie County Democrat Committee Party Chair Jeremy Zellner and Erie County Republican Party Committee Chair Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting what his name is. So Ralph Moore. So Ralph Moore and Jeremy Zellner both have this evidence, or excuse me, they have my testimony, what happened at this point, and we will see where this goes. We obviously, the Board of Elections has a tall order on their hands at this point with early election, early voting, and then the election being next Tuesday, a week away. So our hope is that they will be able to look at this, do their proper investigation, and charge Mr. Poloncarz with the crime that he committed. Now, I want to state further that two of the witnesses that observed Mr. Poloncarz that day were Channel 2 News. They had a news crew that was there, as well as the Buffalo News. They had both recorded, or they had both witnessed him being in there. So we're trying to obtain the witness information for them. We have been unable to secure that at this point, but when we do, we will provide that information to you as soon as it's available. So for now, I believe that is everything. This is the New York State election law that I wanted to cover. This was Chrissy Casilio talking about Mark Poloncarz, and he was over here at the Cheektowaga Senior Center sometime in August, I believe that was. And then just the Board of Elections that we have here. You can go to the Erie County Board of Elections and get this information there about the 100-foot rule, or you can Google search section 2031A New York State Education Law, and you will find that this is in fact a crime that Mark Poloncarz committed. Our position is that he must be investigated at this point. The incident must be investigated thoroughly, and how that operates is, I don't know if I have that up here or not. I don't think so. So how that operates, actually back in 2014, just to communicate this to you, New York State legislative body passed a law that gave all of the power to the Board of Elections. They created a position within the Board of Elections to do all investigations. So all election crimes were removed from local law enforcement, Sheriff's Department, and the Troopers Department, as well as the New York State Office of Public Corruption. It was handed over to the Board of Elections. It's one individual that has that position, and we don't know who that individual is at this point. We're trying to secure that information. It is by appointment by the governor. It's a 5-year appointment, and the only person that can remove that person from that position is the governor for a very egregious violation. I thought I had it pulled up on the screen here. I do apologize. In a follow-up video, I will pull that up so you can see that information. And obviously, that situation is very concerning to us. That was information that we conducted our research, and as we were reporting this crime, we were able to determine that was how the process goes for investigating all of these election crimes. Now, obviously, to have this in one person's hands and in one office is a very tricky thing, especially at election time. And we are of the position that there was a crime committed. This needs to be investigated. The charges need to be levied by this individual. The only way that the state troopers can get involved at this point is if this individual that is in charge of this department within the Board of Elections makes a specific request to the state troopers to get involved. Again, very, very concerning information. I will be following up with all of this and continuing to follow this with the Board of Elections, as well as the witnesses who are getting their affidavits, as well as the videos that we have, and we will put everything together, and we will continue to stay on this, and we will be submitting this to as many people as we need to. The State Attorney General's office here locally, Michael Russo, will have this. District Attorney John Flynn will also have this document from us as well. So Board of Elections, State Attorney General's office, District Attorney John Flynn will have it as well. We will also get this into the hands of the Erie County Sheriff's Department so that they have it, New York State Office of Public Corruption, and the state troopers. This way everybody is very aware of this. And don't minimize, there will be people that will minimize the severity of this. This is a very serious infraction. There's a reason why this specifically is a misdemeanor and needs to be prosecuted in this situation with the overwhelming evidence that we have, including Board of Elections testimony. We're going to wrap this up for now. It's Pete Harding with the AGOA. Enjoy your evening. Take care.